Hey everyone, Adam here. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we got an exciting one. We're going to be talking about the best way to optimize your Facebook ads. So we're going to go through everything from launch and then basically how to optimize things to, basically get the best profitability, best ROAS, and increase your sales and all that good stuff. So if you haven't heard of me before, my name is Adam Matthews, and I've been running Facebook ads for a little over 7.5 years now, since January of 2017, and have generated over tens of millions of dollars with Facebook ads alone at a very, very profitable clip. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So essentially with the launch strategy that we do of Facebook ads pretty much every single time is basically always focusing on the best-selling product or the best-selling products. Basically the 80-20 rule. Like if you have, dozens of SKUs, obviously if you're only selling one product, then it doesn't apply. But if you're selling dozens of SKUs, like what are those few SKUs that generate most of the revenue, and just focus solely on those and really selling those and just almost leave everything else. Unless the one exception is, let's just say, for example, you are selling like shampoo, conditioner, and a bunch of other products. Even though maybe shampoo and conditioner might be the best selling SKUs, they're by far the most competitive. So we would actually probably leave those, focus on maybe the next best selling product that is way less competitive, and then maybe start there. So that's something else to consider, as well as the competitive landscape, because unless there's something super differentiated about it, you probably don't want to make that the hero product with ads, just because it's going to be so competitive. So you do want to be smart when you're kind of mapping everything out. And then what we always start off with is 3 ad formats when we launch out. So a mix of static, video, and carousel. So we'll start with 4 ads. So what I mean by that is we might do 2 videos, a static and a carousel, or we might do 2 carousels, 1 video, 1 static, or 2 statics and 1 video, 1 carousel, etc. So we always want to start off with 3, and then we always start with 2 ad angles. So we don't want to do the same angle for all the ads. That would be kind of dumb. So what we'll do is like 2 ad angles. So an example there, if you're selling shampoo or conditioner, like just as an easy example, one angle could be, helping solve dandruff, and then another angle could be helping solve frizz, as just an easy example there. So that way we're not just all in on one angle. And then we do 1 CBO, so campaign budget optimization, when the budget is on the campaign level. And then typically for budget, we start anywhere from $50 to $100 a day, give or take. If budget is quite tight, then we'll do 50. Actually, honestly, sometimes we'll start at even more than $100 a day. We might start at like 200 or 300 or so. If we're already spending quite a bit, then not going to start at something really, really small, and there's already proof of concept there in the account. Now, within 24 to 72 hours, what we want to take a look at is, the AOV for the brand or the products, essentially. So if it's less than $100, we're going to probably react and do things differently than if the brand has above $100 AOV. So basically, if the brand has less than $100 AOV, we're going to check the spend, revenue, return on ad spend, and cost per acquisition. Those are always the 4 main metrics that we always look at. Those are just highest priority above everything else, if you will. And if they're not within KPI, if spending like basically over the AOV, so say for instance your AOV is over $70, if we're not within KPI, we're not at a profitable clip by the time that happens, or within like 24 to 48 hours, we're gonna start pausing the losing ads. So out of these 4 ads here, let's just say, basically the video is just completely underperforming for whatever reason, we're gonna end up pausing that. Like if it's getting most spend and it's just not getting the, basically the performance that you want, then we're basically just going to go ahead and pause that. Now, if the AOV is higher than that, let's just say 150, 200, we have something that's like $300, $400, then it's sometimes you don't want to wait till you hit that AOV sometimes, because then you're going to end up wasting a lot of budget. So we're always prioritizing this. However, what we're also going to look at is the earlier metrics, like, cost per add to cart, cost per initiate checkout, like the earlier metrics that basically lead up to the purchase. Obviously, we want the revenue and we want the return ad spend and the cost per acquisition. However, if we're like $100 in and we have like 1 add to cart, or maybe even not even, and the AOV is like $300, then we're probably even just going to pause the ad. And, the cost per click, TTR, all that kind of stuff is not where we want it to be. Then we're just going to just rejig the ads, because we don't need to be wasting budget at a higher AOV just to see. Now, of course, if we got budget to work with and it's, we're at more scale, then it's totally fine. But for early stages and we're just trying to be a bit more lean, then we're definitely going to take a look at these and start pausing ads based off these, if it makes sense, obviously. Now, if cost per add to cart and cost per initial checkout, like they're starting to roll in and think we're seeing stuff, then obviously we're going to roll with that. But if we're not, then then we'll go ahead and pause. Now, after 72 hours, so about 3 days in, basically what we want to look at is really like how profitable the first, few batches or so, or first batch or so. If we're very profitable, it's obviously pretty easy. Like building around is working best. Like what are the best angles? What's the best ad format? All that sort of stuff. Best product. We're going to launch multiple. And then basically start creating new ads and new batches of ads basically around what's already working. So taking back to that dandruff and frizz example, let's just say, the video for dandruff is just crushing. Then obviously we can start making iterations off that, or just start creating more, video ads around that dandruff angle, et cetera, et cetera. And also steadily increase budget as well too. And then if we're average profitability, we might start steadily increasing budget a little bit as well too. Obviously we're profitable, so we can kind of bump it a little bit. Allows us to kind of test things faster too at a higher budget. And then also build around is working best, because here's the thing. Overall, we might be at average profitability, but maybe the static is absolutely crushing. So maybe we can start building around that. There's going to be something in the mix that's probably doing decent. Overall, but the ads are not doing, absolutely knocking out of the park, but there might be something there. Now, we could also be barely profitable. So really what we have to do is we have to kind of figure out the issue or the issues. And same thing if we're not profitable. If we're not profitable, then we got to figure out what the issue is or the issues. It could be multiple things. First thing, it could be, testing on a new product. That could be, the case. Could be testing on new angles with the ads. Say for instance, the dandruff and frizz just completely is just not cutting it. We may want to, go after hair loss, or we may need to go after like a different problem or a different awareness level. So there's a lot of different things we can kind of look at that may be something we want to do. We may also want to, potentially split test the PDP, like sending straight to the product page versus the collection page, or even the home page to help them out. Or alternatively, we might need to optimize the product pages and tweak those and just kind of figure out what the issue is. Because if the issue is more on the ad level, like it's just the cost per click is way too high. The CTR is just like the click-through rate is way too low percentage-wise. I would say below 2% or 1.5% or even 1%, probably the ads. Like we need to make the ads. We need to hook people in better. We need to draw people in. We need to sell the click better, essentially. Then, we're going to go ahead and do that. But yeah, basically looking, and then, they're getting off the platform, they're getting to the product pages, collection pages, and we're not converting the traffic well enough, then we really need to focus on optimizing product pages. We need to dial everything in. I got lots of videos on that. Taking a look at the images, taking a look at the copy on there, taking a look at, do we have some icons there for trust? Do we have the reviews? Is it a more complex product? Do we need to really build out a bit more of a, more detailed page in terms of, showing off more photos with benefits, all that sort of stuff, maybe FAQ section, all this sort of stuff. It's a bit more complex. So there's a lot of different things you can kind of look at there. And then also split testing offers as well too is a huge lever. Obviously, we don't need to worry about offers right now. If we're just profitable, and then we just start going. However, if we're not profitable, then we may need to start pulling some levers and also taking a look at where the issue is. Is it like a lower AOV? Then we may need to look at a buy two, get one free, buy three, get one free, type of offer. Or, basically looking at raising the free shipping threshold. Maybe instead of free shipping over $50, we do it, 75, 79, or 99, or 100, or something like that. Or if it's more of a conversion rate kind of issue, then we'll look at offering some sort of free gift with your first purchase, or free mystery gift. That's always a good one. Or the basic, just 10% off, 15% off, 20% off your first purchase, just to get new customers in the door and just start getting volume going, as an example there. And then very, very, very similar, if we're not profitable, then most likely there's going to be issues, plural. There's probably going to be issues with the ads. There's probably going to be issues with the the product pages, collection pages. It's probably going to be a combination of we're probably way off the mark. If we're just completely unprofitable and the unit economics in terms of the average order value, conversion rate, everything all looks good, then it's one of those things that we're probably going to have to dive in and do multiple of these things. And then honestly from there, once we get things rolling and things are going, from there, then it really becomes around testing out new products, if we will, products with lower competition, going after different audiences. Talking about people on mats as an example. Basically, if we're selling only to these are basically the waterproof, leak-proof mats. If we're only selling these mats to, moms who have kids that are bedwetting? Can we go after adults who are struggling with bedwetting? Can we go after, pets? Can we go after, other audiences as well too? We actually, just started targeting the special need, moms with special needs kids, because that was actually something we found in a review and from the research that we did. So different things like that. How can we kind of tailor it towards a new audience to open up a new pocket? Different ad formats and angles. Just continue to create better ads and, ads and more volume. A lot of times that we see with the bigger brands that we're launching or that we literally just have hundreds of ads in the ad library and we're just pumping content. That's really the only difference of doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, compared to, in the early stages as well. Also static versus video, different ad angles, going after different desires, what people want, going after different problems, things that people are struggling with, and really going after, the frizz, the dandruff, all kind of stuff. Whereas like the desires could be like, want more volume in your hair, things like that. So, and then also, different ad concepts as well too. Like there's so many different things that are always trending. There's so many different concepts that you can do. Like with statics, you can go like, core benefit. That's just like a simple caption on there. You can go us versus them, comparing your brand to competitors. You can go review static. And then there's just so many different ones. There's like the Google concept where it looks like it's a Google. I should be actually showing you examples of these, but regardless, there's just so many different ad concepts that you can do. Different countries. So, if it's, if you're capable of selling in multiple different countries, then it's one of those things that you may want to, test out numerous different countries. US is always going to be the most scalable. However, it is the most competitive. So 90% of the time, we'll always find that it's lower ROAS in US, but obviously more scalable. And then, countries like Canada, AU, sometimes UK. UK is kind of getting up there in terms of competitive, but Canada, AU especially, we usually find a higher ROI a lot of times, but then just less scalable. So that's something to note there as well. And of course, the offer split testing, the buy two, get one free, that, get 10, 20, or 15% off your first order, free gift with purchase, really continue to split test those as well too. And of course, there's multiple different ways, but this is kind of the first little bit of optimizing the account. So hopefully that all makes sense. If there's any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know any other video ideas you want to see with me regarding, Shopify, Facebook ads, anything of that nature. I'm more than happy to address those. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. But cheers for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers for watching.